Okay, so Winchester Parkrun, it is for me this morning, and you guys are going to join me. What a beautiful morning for it.
And it's go time. For the purposes of this video, I'm not going to play any music while I run, so you can get a real feel for what it's like. Check it out, guys. On screen I've got my heart rate, my pace and my distance in kilometers, just to give you an idea of exactly how hard I work on these all-out parkruns. Just a reminder to us all that parkrun is not a race, definitely not. It's a run and it's for everyone, but if runners want to come and run it hard and give it a good go, that's completely fine. And on the other side, if runners want to have a social run and enjoy it, that's also completely fine. I think the main thing to be mindful of is that it's for everyone and we must just be cautious when overtaking. This is Winchester Parkrun. I moved to Winchester just under 2 months ago, so first time I'm doing it as a local. I've done this parkrun before, but it's a double lap course, all on grass. The last time I did this parkrun, I completed it in 15 minutes and 15 seconds, which actually got the course record when course records were still a thing. I've recently, over the last week or so, started what I'm calling Operation Speed, get as fast as possible over the shorter distance stuff. So let's see if we can challenge that record today. Just over a minute in, and you can hear how hard I'm working already and breathing. Remember, the camera is quite close to my mouth, so it does probably sound a bit worse than what it is. But for reference, my heart rate max is around 188 and my threshold is probably around 167. Quick reminder that I've got a 5k run clinic starting soon, details in the description below. The hay fever struggles were real this morning. My nose was running faster than I am, but at the same time my body felt good, so I thought, you know what, I'm mentally set for a full send. I've geared up this week for a full send today. Let's give it a good go. Here's a U-turn coming up. Let's have a quick peep at who's chasing us. Because it's a double lap course, if you want to get a good time, you really have to bank a lot of time first lap without completely blowing up in the second lap. The reason why I say that is you'll see traffic gets quite busy second lap, so it's not really an equal or negative split course, let's say. So at the moment we're banking time. Obviously second lap's going to be a bit slower, but we don't want to completely put ourselves deep into the red that we hit a wall come second lap. This first kilometer, remember, is all about active warm-up. There we go, less than a kilometer in and I'm already shifting above my threshold heart rate, and that's probably about right. In a 5k, remember, you're going to be above threshold, probably zone 4 predominantly, heading into zone 5 towards the end. Us runners can hold a threshold heart rate for around 30 to 45 minutes of running. The course wasn't too wet this morning, and as you can see, it was an absolute beaut of a morning for it. Wow. So I decided to run in my Adidas Pro 3s. Here we go, first kilometer split in 3 minutes dead. That would give us a 15-minute park run, but as we know, the second lap's going to get a bit busier. Kilometer 2 is all about setting the tone for the rest of the 5k. So I mentioned earlier that I had the parkrun record for this one when records were still a thing, when Parkrun showed them on their websites. Since then they've removed them, as we know, and I would love to know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think they should bring them back? Do you think it's made any changes since removing the records? Please let me know your thoughts. Over the bridge and left we go. I personally don't think they scrapped records because it was intimidating for slower runners or putting slower runners off. I think there was a bigger reason behind it. The reason why I say that is because I've had a few people come up to me saying they used to go around from parkrun to parkrun and see just how close to the record they could get, and it would actually motivate them in many ways. Another reason why I say that is because a faster runner is not necessarily going to put a slower runner off coming to parkrun. And in actual fact, it's probably going to motivate them even more. And the reason why I say that is you'll see on the second lap, when I start catching and lapping people, it's actually a game for a lot of them. They say, oh, this is where the first person got me this time. So it's a marker for them to see how far they can get before they get lapped. And I suppose it's encouraging to many of us in many ways. A quick peep back to see if anyone was chasing us, and I'm just going to keep quiet for a little bit so you can hear and see just how hard I'm working with less than a third into the 5k. We are working hard, but operation speed is not going to run itself. This is what it's all about. If I'm going to reach higher heights over shorter distances, I need to push myself harder than ever before. For this run, I'm running with a Garmin Forerunner 965 watch and a Garmin Heart Rate Pro Plus monitor. I'm running with an Insta360 Go 3 camera attached to my cap, and I'm going to do a proper review and give you a lot more insight into it in one of my upcoming videos. As you can see, my heart rate is already well above threshold, and I just want to give you a feel for just how hard I'm working at this early stage of the 5K. But first, let's try not kill a pigeon. Just check out this near miss coming up. Wow, you know when you're walking towards someone and you both go left and then you both go right and you kind of like almost bump into each other? That happened on that corner going 3 minutes, okay? Near miss, but we both survived, thank goodness. For reference, I'm currently 6'1" and currently weigh 75 kgs, and I'm looking to ramp up that speed work and attack my 5K PB, which is 14:34. I ran that 2 years ago. Here are some of my top tips to running quick on a grass route. It's always a good idea to do a course recce before the run, just to see how dry and wet the patches are and where you can make up time and where you need to be cautious. Picking the correct shoes is important. As you can see, it's not too wet, so I went with a fast road running shoe. On occasions where it's been super muddy, you might be better off with a trail shoe that has more grip. Then you need to pick the correct lines, especially when going into corners. So on a bendy route like this, I recommend taking the corners aggressively. And what I mean by that is not slowing down on the corners. If you did that at every corner, you would lose a few seconds here and there. And if you add them all up, it makes a significant difference at the end of the run. The last thing to be mindful of is to hold that form. When your legs get tired, grass and muddy patches aren't as bouncy as roads, so your form tends to fold even more. Holding that form, driving those arms, keeping that chin upright is crucial in the last third of the run. So we're well past halfway, and into the second half we go, the half that we train for. In interval and track sessions, I usually get my heart rate to around 172, 173. You can see I'm over that already. We've still got over 2 Ks to go, so I'm working very, very hard today. Next time we come around, we take a short right into that finishing stretch. Oh, the mind games that these full sends play with you. I could have taken a short right there and ended the pain and been at the finish, and that actually crosses your mind every time you do this. I can't believe they make us go past the finish, but at the same time, that's not an option. Let's get the second lap rolling. Now it's going to be really important to pick the right lines into corners and maintain that rhythm and flow as smooth as possible. Third kilometer split in 3:08, pace fading ever so slightly. Still feeling like that course record could be on the cards, but we need a really big last 2 Ks. Ha ha ha, kilometer 3 to 4, you evil, evil thing. We're in that phase of the run right here. I've done thousands of 5Ks and I've analyzed a lot of other runners' 5Ks, being a coach myself, and by far the slowest kilometer in 5Ks is kilometer 3 to 4. Always. Let's see if we can do something about that this run. Being a taller runner myself, I'm having to duck under some of these low-hanging branches while still holding form at this stage of the run. Not always easy. I know I've got two 90-degree right turns coming up, so like I mentioned earlier, you really want to go aggressively into this corner, and then once again aggressively into here to make sure we're not losing any time. Pretty much 1 mile to go in the 5K, and if you're not really hurting here, then you're probably not working hard enough. 4 laps of the track to go. My average cadence for this run was 189, and just to explain to you what cadence is, that's how many steps you take in a minute. 189 is probably about right when I'm giving a 5K a really good go. Okay, let me keep quiet for a little bit to give you a feel of what it's like out there. That puddle section is coming up where I need to get lucky, and there's a gap. I got lucky. Thank you very much. It's a bit sludgy here, and I'm losing traction on the path that I'm running on, but at the same time, it's to be expected, and like I said in the beginning, it's a park run for everyone. Thanks for opening up a gap there, champ. What an absolute legend. 4th kilometer split in 3:10. That bugger got me again. But that's okay. From here on in, it's all about finishing strong, emptying that tank, leaving nothing out there. 1 kilometer to go. And remember that last kilometer never counts, because you can always find something in that last K. I'm working very hard now, but I know the harder I work now, the sweeter my Saturday is going to be. 800 meters to go, 2 laps of the track. I absolutely love seeing this many people at Parkrun. What an amazing concept, and it just encourages so many people to get out there, get active. It's awesome. My mind was playing tricks on me, and I almost went straight on there to the finish by accident. One last lap of this field, finally, and then it's the home stretch. In my mind, I'm thinking, drive those arms, hold that form. Naturally, that heart rate is going to climb. In order to push yourself to your full potential, it actually requires quite a lot of concentration and focus, especially at this stage of the 5K. As mentioned to you in the beginning, the highest I've got my heart rate to in recent times is 188. I'm about 10-12 beats off that now, but I promise you I'm working almost as hard as I can. Boom, 400 meters and 1 lap of the track to go. Let's give a little high five to these girls and finish strong.
Full send on my days. 15:22. We'll take it. Let's go, well done. Saturday morning parkrun with me. All that's left to say is boom shakalaka. And thank you so much, marshals. Thank you. Let's go, let's go. Lovely. All the way through.
Cheers, thank you.
Well done, well done. Woo! All the way to the line. Well done. Drive those arms, all the way, all the way. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Well done, guys.